Hello and welcome to Ben the Knee, a Song of Ice and Fire podcast. I am Sir Matt, the Bud Knight.
And I am Ser Ezra, the Watchful. Welcome back to the extended edition. My friends, we kind of went on a tangent there in that last one, looking at manticores and so on, and dragons and sphinxes. Now we're going to get to the color symbolism, all right? I promised this, and I want to talk about this. This is going to be sick. So this is green and black, all right? And actually, Matt, I'm gonna put this for you in the chat, in the Zoom chat here, so you can go right to this. And you can kind of look ahead at maybe some of the comments. Some of the comments are very interesting on this as I kind of read this to folks. Thought a lot about this. So understanding these colors, the colors of green and black, what do they mean? What do they symbolize? We've talked about the symbolism around food and what it could mean, or the hidden kind of clues. We've talked, I did a whole video on a Song of Ice and Fire. It was extended edition. No, it was the main show. I did the main show just on what is the Song of Ice and Fire. It's a question that Danny asked. And in that, we talked about the colors green, blue, and red being primary colors. Did you know, Matt, did you know that when you add, and sorry, this is a quick backup, a recap for Sir Matt, like a Song of Ice and Fire, so song representing green, ice representing blue, fire representing red. So you get the three primary colors. When they're light, in light form, so green light, red light, and blue light, when they come together, when they intersect, they create white. When there's green paint, blue paint and red paint, and you mix them together, it's black. Black and white, yin and yang. Very interesting. Anyways, so now we're just talking about green and black here. So in the histories, we have the greens versus the blacks. A lot of folks are starting to realize that George does stuff in histories to kind of help us peek into the series, A Song of Ice and Fire, and understand what he's doing with these colors. So although green, as I talked about in my What is the Song of Ice and Fire, green typically means like green dreams, green sight. It's a connection to foresight and the children of the forest, all that good stuff, right? In this, it's more basic. It's basically it's a tell, right? If you're associated with the color black, then you are the rightful heirs, or those who should be in power. The right to the throne is yours. If you're a green, you are green with envy. Think about that. The phrase, you're green with envy, you're envious of the power that the blacks have. Now you take it back to Rhaenyra, who is wearing black. Alicent Hightower is wearing what? Green. And the Hightowers are green with envy. They want their own family connected to the Iron Throne and sitting there. They're playing that Game of Thrones. So George writes that's the histories. Now, he wrote that after, he has this idea in A Song of Ice and Fire. And you see you see the colors green and black in contrast with each other, like fighting one another, So let me give you a couple examples. Tyrion, one black eye, one green. Now, in the middle of Tyrion's two mismatched eyes, one being black, one being green, he has this kind of streak of blonde hair falling down between his two eyes, meaning he might be somewhere in the middle. He's somewhere between the blacks and the greens. Now we're talking about the main series. Like, who in the main series represents the blacks? Who would be those who are entitled to power? Who are the rightful Targaryens to sit on the throne? And then who are those in green, like the Tyrells, who are maybe green with envy, or even Cersei, who's associated with green and wildfire and green emeralds, and she's very envious and wants to take that throne. She wanted to be with Rhaegar. She was supposed to be married to Rhaegar. That didn't work out. Robert Baratheon in his colors, right? Green. So Tyrion, one black eye, one green eye. Renly, many descriptions of his black hair and his green armor. All right. Let's see. He's splendid in his green doublet with his long black hair, jagged chunks of black diamonds studded his sword belt, royal pavilion in green silk. Renly's death described by Catelyn. She heard Renly begin a jest, his shadow moving, lifting its sword, black on green. Candles guttering, shivering. Something was queer, was wrong. And then she saw Renly's sword still in its scabbard. So interesting there. Black on green. Shaggy Dog, black fur with green eyes. Rhaegal, the dragon, green dragon, black teeth. Maester Luwin in his study, a green jar with black arrowheads. Let's see. We've got some alchemist columns of green fire danced around black metal columns. Craster's Keep. John sees through shimmering greenery the black tints of his brothers. House Mormont. Their sigil is a black bear on a green background. Ser Jorah is often described as wearing green wool surcoat over chainmail. Black bear of Mormont sewn on his chest. Blackwater Bay and the green wildfire. You literally have a fight, a battle between that color green and those that are on Blackwater Bay. So many to describe. Yeah, tons of things there. Let's see. Sansa in her room. You have the Hound there. Outside, a swirling lance of jade light spit at the stars, filling the room with a green glare. She saw him for a moment, all black and green. There's too much going on here. Manticore. The gift to Dany from the Sorrowful Men, a glittering green scabbard carved from onyx and emerald, so black and green. Qhorin Halfhand's pyre. Qhorin Halfhand's pyre. Some of the wood was green and it burned slow and steady, sending up black plumes into the air. Stannis, describing the obsidian at Dragonstone, chunks of it, boulders, ledges. The great part of it was black, as I recall, but there was some green as well. Citadel, there are two green sphinxes that flank the main gate with eyes of onyx. So they're green sphinxes with black eyes. All right. Bravos, the statue of the Titan is made of black granite with woven green fabric to look like seaweed for his hair. Let's see what else we get. Illyrio's rings, among others, were emeralds, jet and jade, black diamond, green pearl, so on. Yeah, it goes. It's the last one here. So, glass candles in the Citadel. There are 3 black and 1 green when you look at the candles. So, anyway, this is just interesting. People have gone on with this a little bit further, and they've looked at Dany. Whenever Dany is described as wearing something green, or like people suggesting something green or green being around her, it's a color that does not pair well with her. Why? Because she's black. She represents the blacks and those who are maybe true heirs. Remember you did the whole trident theory where you were looking at the 3 forks of the trident and which one of them, you get the green fork, right, the red fork, and so on. So who of the 3 heads of the dragon kind of represent the different colors? Anyways, just all kind of interesting stuff. Rhaegar is described as wearing black all the time. Black, black, black. Dany rides her black dragon, right? She rides that black one. The black just seems to be Jon. Jon Snow is literally his heart. When he goes to the Night's Watch, he's in all black, and it's said that his heart turns to black because he's joined up with the Night's Watch, which is something. So just representing that he belongs to Rhaegar, and then Dany belongs to Rhaegar, and they're associated with that Targaryen line. All the other colors, those who are near green or near that, or where green is associated with them, they're envious of those who are in power, and they want to take that power. I just thought it was cool, man. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit, actually, I think in our color symbolism. I think we did the Emerald Code, and that's one of the things that's brought up here on the old Westeros, A Song of Ice and Fire.westeros.org, ASOIAF. And it's saying green is usually associated with usurpers and dynastic conflicts, whereas blacks are usually side with the rightful claim.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It said could also be applied to chess pieces, in which case green would always move first. I thought chess was always between white and black, but I guess I could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. You were the president of chess club. That's a you thing. What's the nature of chess? Was it originally green pieces?
No, I think they're just saying if you subbed out, green, it'd be black. Yeah, and you sub out the white pieces.
Now this person's using green and black and adding it to, says not to turn this into an R plus L equals J legitimacy thread, but there are some interesting implications if black equals rightful claim, if that is correct with Jon. Says Rob looked relieved. Good, he smiled. The next time I see you, you'll be in all black. John says that's my color. They and Game of Thrones Eddard 1. They had come together at the ford of the Trident, with the battle crashed all around them. Robert with his warhammer and his great antler helm. The Targaryen prince armored all in black. Another thing here. Yet when the jousting began, the day belonged to Rhaegar Targaryen. The crown prince wore the armor he would die in, a gleaming black plate. Just keeps talking about how every time it's talking about how Rhaegar wore black plate. And then John's color is also black. Oh, it's like he looked good in black.
Yes, he looks good in it, and exactly. So it's just one of those sort of little nods that kind of says, watch out for these individuals. And Cersei's strong. The Emerald Code goes into a lot of Cersei's stuff with green.
This is really interesting too, because doesn't Dany dream about a knight armored in black ice at one point?
Yeah, I think so.
And I don't think we've ever associated that prophecy, if that is the case, with looking at that armored knight in black might be Jon.
Yeah, and then you think about like black ice, which would look a lot like obsidian, right? And you've got the obsidian daggers, dragon glass, and so on, right?
Yeah, let me pull. So let me see if I can find Jon's dream in a dance with dragons. Jon was armored in black ice, but his blade burned red in his fist. As the dead men reached the top of the wall, he sent them down to die again. He slew a gray beard and a beardless boy, a giant man with filed teeth, a girl with thin red hair. Too late, he recognized Ygritte. She was gone as quick as she'd appear. It's a dream he has.
Here's something interesting. So people talk about this is where they try to make a connection between these colors, and you get almost too many colors rolling here when you do three heads of the dragon. We're just talking about two colors, black and green. But with the three black candles and one green candle at the Citadel, at the time there are three blacks or Targaryens, Jon, Dany, and Aemon, and one green or black fire being Aegon. If you believe that Aegon's not a true Targaryen, one black candle is found burning, and it burns but is not consumed, a possible reference to the burning bush in Exodus, or it both burns and preserves aspects of both ice and fire. I think the glass candle burning refers to Jon. Let's see. Interesting, the black fire reference. When you go back to just looking at the black and green color symbolism, and you look at the Blackfire Rebellion, that is all about who is the rightful heir, who's a bastard and who's not. Is Daeron the Good a legitimate born son of Aegon IV, or is Daemon the legitimate born son? Are they both bastards? And then you get into black fire.
Real quick question here, only because we're talking about Dany.
Yeah.
Not that I want to send us down an entire another like 40 minutes rant here. The three heads of the dragon. I think that sometimes we view that as there has to be three people. Yeah. Could that just mean that? I mean, in sort of make it as simple as possible. Couldn't it simply be that? We talk about, the prince or the princess that's promised. Couldn't her dragons be the three heads of her as a dragon? She has three dragons that would symbolize three heads of the dragon.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Not, I think sometimes we view it as there has to be three dragons. And so we're like, well, it's Jon, Daenerys, and who knows, Tyrion or
right. No, I think
Reed or young Griff. I mean, I think that's another way to sort of think about it as well.
Well, and that's the thing. Sometimes George wants us to look at that and say, oh, that's too obvious, and then go look for something else and make all these other little connections. And really, the most obvious thing is what he wanted. And other times, the most obvious thing is what he wants us to think, and then he's actually throwing in a bunch of subtleties where it could be something else. So he mixes and matches that really well, and that's what keeps everybody kind of guessing and wondering, what he's up to. So, but yeah, just to drive home one more time here as you're reading. Robert rebels because he envied Rhaegar, who Lyanna either chose over him or he took away from her, and he's green with envy in that series, and at the start in his rebellion. So I don't know, man. This one can be a little bit quicker, but I just thought as we read and as we look through the series, look for these colors and say, is it sort of do we have green or black near one individual more than not just because someone has green shoes do we think, oh, they're a usurper or they're whatever, or they're wearing
I do.
black. I mean, it could be that it could be that intense, right? Jaime's dreams. Let me see. Brienne woke him with a boot in the ribs. The world was still black, and it began to rain. Yeah, in his dreams, the dead came burning, gowned in swirling green flames. Yeah, this is Jaime in his dream. There's so many. There's just so many where the two are fighting. Green and black are in contrast with one another, and it's just those who have power and those who want it, which makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah. All right, friends. Well, yeah, we'll keep it simple there. Again, thanks to everybody here on Apple Premium and on Patreon for supporting us. Just little something that when you go and you do your rereads or you go point of view read throughs, think about A Song of Ice and Fire. Think about the green magic. You think about aspects of ice magic, fire magic. That's really cool. And then they're all a bit of one, right? Some of these characters have more than just one power. They're not all purely ice, all purely fire, all purely green. Just the same way that maybe these colors, black and green, don't all the way indicate. It's not like a clear cut kind of line, I guess, or it is some subtle type of hint. So just a lens for you to kind of look at this series. So with that, friends, thanks so much. And as always, remember that winter is coming.